initial takeaways from the game on Saturday, first preseason game?
Yeah, first preseason game. It was good to see the guys play. It was, I thought we played with good energy, played with good effort, a lot of things to clean up, what you expect from the first game. So really just trying to attack the details, situational football, just all the little things that we can do better, and tried to attack those this week. And particularly the young guys, get them ready to make a big jump from week 1 to week 2, which you hope for. So excited to see them get another opportunity to go out and play again this week.
You mentioned Traymon last week as a guy you were excited to see. What did he show you in the game? And then it seemed like he's been flashing in practice again this week.
Yeah, he, I thought he played pretty well. I think it is a lot of the guys is like just the first game and getting through that, and now they kind of realize what it is, what it takes, the consistency that it takes, the play after play mentality. And so he's had a good camp. Mentioned that a few times, but just excited for him to get that. Now that he's done it, now that he kind of has a little bit maybe better expectation of how the game goes and everything, that he'll go out there and really be able to put his best foot forward out on Saturday.
In terms of corner depth, what do you like about Matt Hankins?
He's smart, tough, knows how to play football. He's physical. He's around the ball. You don't have to tell him very many things more than once, which I think as a coach, like you enjoy coaching players that when you give them a coaching point or something that they take it and it happens pretty quick. And he's like that. He's very serious approach about his game. And he's got a lot of versatility. He's lining up all over the secondary for us, trying to create value for himself. And he's had a good camp up to this point.
Adding on to that, we've seen some corner play safety go to corner. What value does that have when guys when you kind of cross train guys?
Number one, I think it's for their own individual value, for the roster, and trying to put themselves in the best position to be that. And then for us, I think it's like you got to be really careful sometimes of who is the next best football player. If your fourth guy goes down, I want the next best player in the game. Okay, he's a safety, he's a corner, he's a nickel. I want the next best football player in there. And I think we try to approach it that way and teaching the guys positions. It doesn't always perfectly, line up like that. That a corner can't just go in there and always play safety and vice versa. But I do think the versatility allows you to try to keep your best players out there and always have that next best guy available. And then also for those guys, try to create value for themselves.
Now, Coach, obviously we didn't get to see the joint practice again with the Rams, but you did see them, a couple Sundays ago. How does that preparation, and being able to see them then and then now leading up to the game against them again, how does that, help you?
I think it's just the players have an idea a little bit of kind of how they operate schematically, some of their favorite plays. We honestly, as a staff, not putting a ton of stock into like what they ran in practice against us versus the games. So really, I think it's advantageous for players to have played a team, have a kind of an idea who they're going against, what they were like. They can watch themselves going against that particular tackle or receiver or whatever, and it just gives them a little bit of confidence that they've gone against that person before, and hopefully they go out there and play well Saturday with that confidence.
Do you get more out of a joint practice or just a regular thing when you're going against your own guys?
I think both, honestly. I think especially being new this year and having new schemes on both sides of the ball, we get a lot out of our normal practices. There's always, I think both sides, particularly those first 2 to 3 weeks where you're installing, you're putting a lot of stuff in. So we're able to see a lot of different schemes from our own offense. I think the advantage of them, on occasion is just seeing a different system, seeing the Coach McVay system versus what we do. The guys getting a chance to go up against different players. I think it just brings sparks that element of maybe a little higher ramped up competition than a normal practice. And then, particularly for a lot of the starters, that's their opportunity to get those more game-like reps, even though they weren't live situations either, but to kind of get get that flow of the game, get a lot of reps against other people. So I think they're both advantageous, and enjoyed that first practice with them, and also enjoy going against our own guys every day.
You talked about just like the evaluation going into the first game. Does any of that change going into the second game now you have like tape on the players in the first game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're always stacking the team, and stacking the positions, and the games do carry weight, because that's real football. That's having to make tackles. That's having to finish on the quarterback, like all the different things that sometimes you don't get the full tilt in practice. So, the games are a huge piece of the evaluation. Come in and meet about it and stack it and talk to Joe and the personnel side. And so, I think each game is a huge part of that evaluation process and another opportunity for these guys to put it on tape.
What did you see in that first game against Seattle? What kind of jumped out at you?
I thought the guys just handled, hey, it's the rhythm of a game, playing. I think for us defensively, there's things that we're chasing. It didn't feel like we put our best foot forward in some areas. Situational football, third down, getting off the field, not attacking the ball. And so I think as a group, it gives you a starting point. It's kind of a foundation of, okay, this is really where we're at right now. And then it allows you to attack very specific areas to try to get better for the next game. I thought the guys that maybe weren't playing or only played a few were engaged, and I enjoyed them being engaged in the game and sort of like following along how we were trying to call the game and stuff like that. So it's good for those guys to see us as a new staff. This is how they kind of operate on game day, and this is how it's going to feel in September. So I think you get a lot out of it. But most importantly, we do want to try to win the game. I mean, we're competitors, and Coach Harbaugh is a competitor. We're competitors, and so we want to try to play better this game.
How exciting for you to see Junior start to ramp it up a little bit?
Yeah, definitely exciting. So he, obviously a guy I know very well, and have a good idea of what he knows about our defense, but want to see him do it at this level and against these caliber players. So. Excited to continue to see that ramp up happen.
How's your thinking evolved as preseasons are not the way they used to be? You can't tackle like you before, and you want to see them do this, and you want to teach fundamentals.
Yeah.
So how has your coaching evolved with that going into a season?
Yeah, I really think that you even have to double down even more on the fundamentals to really practice it, and you're not always going to get to do it in the live game situations, but teaching the body position of tackling, teaching the angles that you want to take to get to the football. I believe we spend a ton of time on that, and I hope it's an advantage for us. I hope it's something that separates us from other teams in the league. And so it's just, to me, it's here's kind of the rules, so to speak, or here's how it is. We still got to find the most advantageous way to get good at football, to get good at the fundamentals, so that in the games we're ready. And I think that's just kind of how we've tried to attack it. But yeah, you're not going out there and tackling every day, and so it's focusing on those things and showing them clips of, okay, this is your body position here, and this is what this needs to look like in the game. So trying to really just be great teachers in that regard and have those guys ready to play on the game day.
Going back to Junior, is he close to playing in the game?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that for this game. So
I know that must be a difficult thing to come back from.
Yeah.
Another Junior one. Did you see the screen play that he blew up today?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what he offers on it? Because
he's just we drafted him where we drafted him for a reason. We think he's a really good player. I think it's funny because I used to tell scouts at Michigan, hey, he's a sideline to sideline linebacker that can play all three downs, that has coverage skills, that, particularly with his background, with his story, I think still has a really high ceiling, even though he played really well in college. But just being a little bit new to football, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So I'm excited about his potential. But just want to get him out there and throw him into the competition and see where it shakes out.
Back in the league with a bunch of new faces. Is there anything that stands out at all that is like a huge, your expectations for this is like, wow, that's not what I thought, good, bad, or indifferent?
I think just getting used to the number of players. Right now it's we have 90, but last year in camp we had I think you have 110 or whatever it is, and in the season you have 120 something guys, and so managing the reps and taking care of the guys that need to get certain amount of reps, need to get certain amount of work, versus guys that can just play, the 20-year-old college guy that's like, put me in there for as long as you need me. So I just think managing the pros and the guys that are need work, but also need to be really healthy and fresh for the games. So I think just getting back into thinking about that a lot, trying to manage that, trying to put them in the best position to be their best on game day and not on a Wednesday. So that's definitely something that's been a focus.